Estimating labor for a kitchen remodel involves breaking down the project into different phases, primarily rough-in and trim-out. For the rough-in phase, estimate around 8 IOs per circuit for a standard circuit, such as lighting or receptacles. If the kitchen remodel includes roughly 20 circuits, such as 10 recessed lights, 10 puck lights, and the usual receptacles, allocate additional time for pulling wire to the panel board and installing wiring devices. A reasonable estimate for the rough-in phase would be 8 IOs multiplied by 20 circuits, plus an additional 4 IOs, totaling 168 IOs. The trim-out phase involves installing fixtures, trims, and devices. Estimate around 4 IOs per circuit for this phase. Using the same example of 20 circuits, the estimated time for trim-out would be 4 IOs multiplied by 20 circuits, plus an additional 4 IOs, totaling 84 IOs. Combining the rough-in and trim-out estimates, the total estimated labor time for the kitchen remodel is 168 hours plus 84 hours, resulting in 252 hours. Estimating material costs involves considering the wire, conduit, lighting fixtures, receptacles, switches, and other materials like circuit breakers, boxes, and connectors. Estimate around $2 per foot of wire and $1 per foot of conduit. The cost of lighting fixtures can range from $1,000 to $2,000, while receptacles and switches may cost between $500 and $1,000. Considering all these factors, the total estimated material cost for the kitchen remodel could range from $2,500 to $4,500. Regarding the timeline for the project, the rough-in phase could take approximately 1 week, which is about 14 days. The trim-out phase could take around 3 to 4 days. Therefore, the total timeline for the kitchen remodel could range from 2 to 3 weeks. Additional considerations that may affect the cost and timeline of the project include access to the basement panel board, which can influence the amount of wiring and conduit required. The complexity of the cabinet lighting can also impact the labor time. It's also important to include time for troubleshooting and potential delays. Based on the above estimates, the total project cost, including labor and materials, could range from $10,000 to $15,000. It is important to remember that this is just an estimate, and actual costs may vary depending on various factors. It is always recommended to obtain quotes from multiple contractors and carefully review the scope of work before making a decision. When estimating electrical work, several factors can impact the accuracy of your projections. One important aspect is the local electrical codes and regulations. These codes dictate the standards for wiring, grounding, and safety, and they can vary from one jurisdiction to another. Familiarizing yourself with the specific codes in your area is essential for ensuring compliance and avoiding potential rework. The complexity of the wiring can significantly affect the labor time required for the project. Factors such as the number of circuits, the length of wire runs, and the presence of obstacles can all contribute to increased complexity. For example, fishing wires through finished walls or ceilings can be more time-consuming than running them through open studs. The type of wiring used in the project can also impact the material costs and labor time. Common types of wiring include non-metallic sheet cable, armored cable, and conduit. Each type has its own advantages and disadvantages in terms of cost, durability, and ease of installation. The number and type of electrical fixtures can also influence the overall cost of the project. Different types of fixtures, such as recessed lights, chandeliers, and ceiling fans, require different amounts of labor and materials to install. The quality of the materials used in the project can affect both the upfront costs and the long-term durability of the electrical system. Using high-quality wires, connectors, and fixtures can help to prevent problems such as shorts, overloads, and corrosion. The experience and skill level of the electrician can significantly impact the efficiency and accuracy of the electrical work. A highly experienced electrician may be able to complete the project in less time and with fewer errors than a less experienced one. Obtaining the necessary permits and inspections can add to the overall cost and timeline of the project. Permit fees vary depending on the jurisdiction, and inspections may require additional time and effort. Dealing with unexpected problems or delays can also impact the project's cost and timeline. These problems can include things such as hidden wiring, structural issues, and material shortages. Always build some contingency time and budget into your estimates to account for these types of unexpected events. Finally, consider the prevailing market rates for electrical labor and materials in your area. These rates can vary depending on factors such as the local economy, the demand for electricians, and the availability of materials. Researching the market rates in your area can help you to develop a competitive and accurate estimate. Firstly, access to the panel board. If the panel board is easily accessible and located close to the kitchen, the amount of wiring and conduit required may be less. Secondly, complexity of the cabinet lighting. Intricate cabinet lighting designs with multiple fixtures and connections will require more labor time. Thirdly, potential delays. Unforeseen issues, such as unexpected wiring complexities or material shortages, can lead to delays. Fourthly, permit requirements. Securing necessary permits and scheduling inspections can add to the overall project timeline. Fifthly, coordination with other trades. Coordinating with the general contractor and other trades such as plumbers and carpenters can impact the workflow. Sixthly, homeowner preferences. Changes in homeowner preferences or design alterations during the project can lead to rework and adjustments. Seventhly, site conditions. Factors such as limited workspace or difficult access to certain areas can affect the efficiency of the work. Eighthly, material availability. Fluctuations in material availability and pricing can influence the overall cost of the project. Ninthly, waste management. Proper disposal of electrical waste and debris adds to the overall project expenses. Tenthly, warranty and guarantees. Providing warranties or guarantees on the electrical work can increase customer confidence and potentially justify a higher project cost. To refine an electrical estimate for a kitchen remodel beyond the basic considerations of labor, materials, and timeline, start with a detailed plan review. Scrutinize the architectural and electrical plans, noting the exact locations of all electrical devices, including outlets, switches, lighting fixtures, and appliances. Pay close attention to any special requirements, such as dedicated circuits for high-demand appliances or specific lighting control systems. Accurate circuit counts form the backbone of a reliable estimate. Itemize every circuit required for the kitchen, categorizing them by type. This includes general lighting circuits, small appliance circuits, dedicated appliance circuits like dishwashers and garbage disposals, and any specialized circuits for items like under-cabinet lighting or accent lighting. Precise circuit counts directly translate to the amount of wiring, conduit, and labor needed. Conduct a comprehensive material takeoff. This involves quantifying all materials needed for the job, from the obvious items like wire, conduit, boxes, and fixtures to the less obvious, such as connectors, fasteners, and grounding hardware. Use a detailed spreadsheet to list each item, its quantity, and its unit cost. Regularly update this spreadsheet with current pricing from your suppliers to ensure accuracy. Labor hour estimates must be realistic and account for all tasks involved. Break down the labor into phases, such as rough-in, wiring, device installation, and trim-out. For each phase, estimate the number of hours required based on your experience and the complexity of the work. Be sure to include time for tasks like layout, measuring, cutting, and troubleshooting. Add a buffer for unforeseen issues. It's wise to add a contingency buffer to your labor and material estimates to account for unexpected problems or delays. A common practice is to add 5-10% to both categories. This buffer can help to protect your profit margin if unforeseen issues arise. Consider specialized equipment needs. Determine if any specialized equipment is required for the job, such as trenchers for burying underground conduit or lifts for installing high bay lighting. Factor in the rental costs or depreciation of this equipment into your estimate. Factor in the costs of permits and inspections. Contact your local building department to determine the permit fees and inspection requirements for the job. Include these costs in your estimate. Review energy efficiency requirements. Many jurisdictions now have energy efficiency requirements for new construction and remodels. These requirements may dictate the type of lighting fixtures, controls, and wiring methods used in the project. Factor in the cost of complying with these requirements into your estimate. Provide a detailed and transparent proposal. Your proposal should clearly outline the scope of work, the materials to be used, the estimated labor hours, and the total cost. Be sure to include any assumptions or exclusions. Transparency builds trust with your clients and reduces the likelihood of disputes. Review your estimate with your client. Before submitting your estimate, take the time to review it with your client. This gives them an opportunity to ask questions and clarify any concerns. It also allows you to identify any potential misunderstandings or changes to the scope of work. Project management software is a way to improve your estimating process. Estimating software can automate many of the tedious tasks involved in estimating, such as material takeoffs and labor calculations. It can also help you to track your costs and manage your projects more effectively. By following these steps, you can refine your electrical estimates for kitchen remodels and increase your chances of winning profitable projects.